Okay, so we've progressed a little bit now. We're a few days later on and I've had to wait for things to dry out. I'll show you why. All of this stuff here, this is all old wet ply that's come out from the back right hand wardrobe where the water heater is kept and where it was leaking. That's a shroud for one of the heater units in the bus that I've taken out. Sorry, the air conditioning unit that I've taken out. There's a bit of lino there that I've had to get from the local tip because there isn't a hardware here. Where we're living, there's no hardware, there's no shops, there's no stores. For about, I think the nearest hardware is 220 kilometres away. So while we're here, we've had to make do with what we've got and recycle as much as possible. And where there's gaps, I had to go to the local tip. Here in Blimman, we call it Blimman Bunnings. And there's all the boards and dividers and panel work that's come out of the back of Cookie. And you've seen this before, but you haven't seen it quite at this stage. So I'll just put a bit of light on here. So there you go. I've ripped out all of the unwanted power lines, the old 110 volt power, as much as I can get to. I've taken out all of the wet ply, and believe me, it was wet. That's just a bit of an old ply that again I got from the local tip to recycle to fill in the gaps for the bits and pieces that I now haven't got. The new water heater, as I said before, from America. Now I've noticed here, I'll just put this light on here. I've noticed here that this piece here is very, very hard to get in because obviously it's doing up one way here, doing up the other way here. Now to make it watertight in the bus, where it's such a tight fit, back in there, going to the tap, as you can see there, the green tap. It's a very tight fit when you get the water heater in there with all of those fittings behind it. Now before I get to that stage, of course, I've got to put the flooring ply in here. I've got to build the raised plinth box again because that was destroyed by the water. I'm going to build another one of them. Then I'm going to cover it with some of that lino that I've got out there. And then I'll put the water heater back in, and before I do, I'm going to have to do something with this to loosen it up so that I can actually get it back in and make it watertight when I reconnect it, all the plumbing back there. Now before I go, I'll just show you, this is where I took a electric heater from. This was a mains power 110 volt electric heater, just sitting on top of this ductwork here. I'll leave the heating element from the engine water. I'll leave that where it is because I don't want to touch the water lines. There's enough risk of water leaks here with this old girl as it is, so I don't want to make that worse. I'm currently in the process of making a storage box to fit in there, again from materials I've had to find from the local tip. Okay, this is one of the boards that came out. It's still wet on the bottom. You can see it's had mildew all over it. I've actually treated it with bleach, but this is one of the baseboards that goes in that section back there that I've sprayed with Kill Rust silver paint. This is my trailer, come workbench, come everything. Some of my tools, my roof plumbing tools. And this is a bit of old timber finished tin that I got from Blimman Bunnings to make up into that box section to go in that storage area that I've just explained above the engine heater inside. Ultimately though, We've got a lot of damage back there that's had to be repaired. It gives me the opportunity to remodel a little bit. This is the old water heater. There's a split on one of the sides here. I can't see it clearly, so I won't bother trying to show you because you wouldn't pick it up on the camera. But you can see from the stuff that's been taken out and from all of the joinery work that needs to go back in, there's still a fair way to go. That's where we're at so far. Next step to come.